good thing. I must admit, I was a little surprised. I didn't think they were brilliant, but I didn't see a particularly lethargic side. I just saw a side that wasn't really finishing its chances. I think if you were to sort of dive into the way City play, and I know we have this recurring conversation about Haaland's role, and we've sort of seen the best of him and also the most inconsequential aspects of him as well. I think the first goal's a absolute beauty, lovely little finish, but it's actually his first touch of the game, and they've been playing for the better part, a quarter of an hour. I love the merit of a number 9 who is that effective in front of goal, but they have to find a way of getting him in the game more. I know he does strong movement. He brings other guys into the game, and that's usually his argument as well, of course. But you're watching games going on around him and thinking that this isn't the most efficient way, but when he does get the ball, he's absolutely lethal. I think it's something like 15 on now. I mean, the guy's a monster. You just want to see them find a way of involving that monster a little bit more.
Yes, Shaban, I saw you nodding along there, particularly when Riyadh was talking about Haaland's quotes about the lack of energy at this point in the season. It doesn't look good. But, I mean, when we come to talk about City, we just think to a couple of seasons ago how ruthless they were. The fact that they dominated so well in this game, you would have probably expected them to put this game to bed. And to Riyadh's point, Haaland having 7 touches in that second half, but in that game, and only making 2 goals. Is that unlike him, unlike City of old?
I mean, Erling Haaland's doing his job. I mean, look at his numbers. They speak for themselves. He's been magnificent so far this season. And just watching him tonight, as Raith says, I mean, he's just wonderful. His movement, his first touch, he's constantly leaping in the air. For me, he's perfect, and he's doing his job for Pep Guardiola, but you can understand why you would want to see him more involved. And then to come off and to make those comments about, perhaps a lack of energy, it's not an easy shift coming up. You've got to look at the fixtures ahead of them. For Manchester City, they're going away to Brentford, then they've got Everton, they've still got Villarreal in the Champions League ahead of them, and then it's Liverpool and Newcastle. So they've got a tough shift ahead of them. But what I would say is that they were positive tonight, they were dominant in the game. And Phil Foden, I think he could have scored as well at some stage of the game. So they are looking good. It's just, it's moments like that that'll change the game. That penalty, meaning they didn't come away with a win kind of thing. But I still think they'll be feeling okay moving forward for what's ahead. And for me, Haaland's doing the job that he's been set to do. That's score goals, and he's doing it.
Yeah, 15 goals in his last 8 games now tonight, Riyadh. How important is it that City have a man who knows where the back of the net is if they're going to challenge for any trophies this season?
No, I think we're seeing a sharper version of Haaland this season compared to last. Certainly, I think I can be a little bit tedious in banging this old drum, but I do think they used to get the best out of him with De Bruyne, and of course you're gonna miss a guy like that, and it probably sort of causes some anguish for people when you watch him getting a couple of assists for Napoli as well tonight. But so they'll have to kind of get over their broken hearts somehow with that one. But with Haaland himself, I mean, if this form sustains itself over the season, and we've seen in the past that he can do that, they are going to be right up there. I'm sure we're going to come into more detail on the title race soon enough in the show, but I'd expect a sustained challenge from City this season. I think what we're also seeing as well is we're still very much in the early days of Rodri coming back in, getting his own sharpness back. He's not there yet, but we also know that when they unlock that, when he gets to that place, we're talking about arguably the best player in the Premier League and one of the finest in the world. So they've still got that to look forward to as well. I wouldn't be overreacting to an away draw in the Champions League.
OK, moving on to Arsenal, 2-0 win for them against Olympiacos at the Emirates. Looking at the back page of The Sun, they've gone on the left-hand side there. He gabs Gabriel Martinelli with another goal tonight, the opening goal at the Emirates. Shaban, for a man that was under pressure, that was criticised, he seems like he's up to the challenge of challenging for his jersey each game.
Yeah, Absolutely. You cannot take that away from Martinelli. That's 3 and 4 now. For him, really proving a point. And Jess, we have this conversation tonight, watching that performance from Arsenal, seeing what they've been able to do at the weekend and closing the gap at the top of the table that little bit more. I mean, Mikel Arteta has the most outstanding squad. You know, you can look at his bench and go, wow, magic. And again, it's the finishers coming on tonight. It was Bukayo Saka, comes on and wins them the game to make it 2-0. And at that point, actually, it was starting to turn, wasn't it? They were under a wee bit of pressure towards full time. But I mean, all round brilliant. And I know you guys are going to say it, so let me say it first. But Martin Odegaard, absolutely sensational. Could have had 4 assists tonight. They could have scored a few more. But the one thing that I'll come away from watching that game from tonight is, should Arsenal be killing these games sooner? Should they be far more clinical in these situations? But they were magnificent. Odegaard, guys, I don't know if it's his new haircut, but wow, he was magic tonight. He was so good.
So impressive. And Ria, this is coming from a team that made 6 changes after that dramatic win against Newcastle last time out. We talk about Arsenal's strength in depth this season, and there it was tonight in full view.
Look at the second half. They brought Saka, Eze, and Declan Rice off the bench. It's if you can do that, you're in pretty good shape. And I think Saka in particular, I think he's a fabulous player. They might have a little bit of an issue now with Madueke. I don't think he was going to be knocking Saka out of the starting lineup in the long term, but to be able to rotate it around and have that choice of Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, Madueke, Eze, all of those as wide options, that's absolutely devastating. But when we look at Arsenal, and particularly nights like this evening where they're very, very strong going forward, I did think they rode their luck a little bit in the second half. Certainly, going to Shaban's point, they should have killed that game off a little bit sooner for what they created. But in terms of the balance of that squad and the qualities that they've got, we're talking about a team that we're into October now and they've conceded 3 goals this season. It's a fantastic defence. It's a fantastic attack. It's the deepest squad in the Premier League. So, if not now, when? As the phrase goes, for them actually delivering on this. I know we've kind of had this recurring conversation about Arsenal psychologically, whether or not there's a hurdle there that they need to get over in their own minds before they can deliver. But really, they've got every single ace in the pack at the moment. It looks like a season when they could do something special. I think, again, we'll probably come on to Liverpool at some point where they're at. We've spoken a bit about City, but when I look at that Arsenal squad, I don't see an inferiority to anyone else out there. So it's a very promising season for them, and they were also building, just to sort of disappear down a slight tangent here, but this home record as well that they've got in Europe at the moment is astonishing. I think 8 Champions League games. They've not conceded a goal. It's, everything right there when you look at it should be in place, but it's Arsenal. We've got quite a hefty body of work accumulated in the past that shows that they won't get it done. So I think they've got a great chance here.
Okay, and also I feel as though Arsenal playing well, this incredible record that they've got at home, as you rightly mentioned, Riyadh, talk about making the Emirates a fortress. But Shaban, Bukayo Saka back on the score sheet again. We know he's not quite back to his best, but that will do his confidence the world of good.
Of course it will. I mean, Olympiacos keeper won't want to watch that back, through his legs. But it was that wee bit of magic from Bukayo Saka. Last time I was here, we speak about, Saka, and when he's injured, he's so missed. And then when he's there in the team, he's sometimes maybe underappreciated at how much he can add to the attack of Arsenal. All round, they're just looking really, really strong. And again, that squad depth comes into it. Even Gyökeres tonight. The work that he did in the lead up to Martinelli's goal. Again, Odegaard, David Raya pulled off 3 wicked saves tonight as well. So all over the pitch, they look very, very strong. And Bukayo Saka will be a huge part of it if touchwood is to stay fit. But if they are to go on and win the title this season, that he'll be a huge part of that.
Yep, and they've got another home game next before the international break. Roll on West Ham, Arsenal fans will be saying. Shaban, Riyadh, thank you for the moment. We're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll look at more of the sports stories in the morning's newspapers, including this in the Metro. Is it time to panic at Liverpool? Curtis Jones calls for calm. We'll discuss that next. Stay with us.